If you run a marketing agency and you want to increase your show-up rates when people book an appointment with you, then keep watching this video because I'm going to share my top 7 strategies that we've used after booking thousands of calls for ourselves and our clients to increase show-up rates. With that in mind, let's jump right in. First things first, offer is king. If you have something that people want, they're much more likely to show up and be curious about how it works and actually want to hop on a call and learn from you about it. For example, let's say that your ad account just got shut down, which I know for a lot of us, that's happened. And you saw an ad where they said, I can get your ad account back up within 24 hours. And let's assume that was the offer. Well, if you book a call and you need that solution and you really want it, you're much more likely to actually show up compared to an offer where you don't really need it. So on the flip side, let's say that you've been thinking about growing a podcast to help promote your marketing agency, but it's not really that high priority, and you see an ad on Facebook where someone says, we'll get your podcast up and running within 30 days. And let's say that is the exact offer. Now, if you don't really need the podcast and now you have your call scheduled for maybe next week, but then something came up, it's low priority. That offer is not king based on what you need and based on what you want. So you're less likely to show up. And that begs the question, does your show-up rate suck or does your offer suck? And after analyzing a ton of different marketing agency owner offers, what I've come to realize is that most of the time, the offer sucks. So I'll give you guys one more example. When we scaled our marketing agency Atlas Digital to hundreds of clients, we were one of the first ever to guarantee a certain number of appointments within a single month. And when we launched that offer, our show-up rate was so freaking high because chiropractors actually wanted to learn and get on a call with us and find out how we were going to guarantee X number of appointments within a certain time period. And after all these other marketing agencies began to replicate that offer, and chiropractors already knew about it and it wasn't as sexy, our show-up rate started to drop. And then we had to launch a brand new offer to get them to show up again. So hack number 1 is that offer is king. Hack number 2, build a relationship pre-call. If you have something planned with your best friend, let's say that you're going to go out to dinner on a Friday night. Well, you're not gonna just ghost them, especially if they're your best friend. If you for some reason can't make it, what you're probably going to do, shoot them a text or give them a call and let them know, hey, I cannot make it. And I would love to reschedule and I'm so sorry. However, if you signed up to go see the dentist and you forgot about it, you don't have that relationship with your dentist, or at least I assume you're not best friends with your dentist, and maybe you will call them out of your courtesy to let them know you're not gonna make it, but a lot of the times, let's say life comes up and you have an emergency and you can't make it, it's not as high of a priority to give them a call and let them know that you can't make it. So what we wanna do to increase the show-up rate is figure out how we can build as much of a relationship and get the prospect to be like our best friend that is going to go to dinner with us on that Friday night before the call. How do we do that? Number 1, every single time someone books a call, you need to add them on Facebook. So find them on Facebook and add them as a friend. And to take it a step further, if you're posting your client wins and you're posting valuable content on your Facebook profile, once you've added them as a friend, they are seeing all of the value. They are seeing all the social proof. Now they're much more likely to engage with you. Here's another way to build the relationship pre-call. Add them to your free Facebook group. If you don't have a Facebook group, I highly recommend building one And anyone that books a call with you, what I want you to do is add them to your free Facebook group. So again, now you're nurturing them and building that relationship all online before the call. If you have valuable content in your group, and if you have social proof in your group, again, they're gonna be much more connected with you, just like your best friend, and less like the dentist. So what you wanna do is figure out how to build that relationship pre-call. Here's another way to do it. You can create a series of your best 3 to 5 tips that you've been able to come up with for your niche and turn them into videos, or you could even put them into a PDF, and you can make it mandatory for your prospects to actually take action on these 3 to 5 tips before the call. And guess what's gonna happen? If the tips that you share with them actually work, just like the tips you're getting from me right now, guess what? They're gonna love you, and they're gonna perceive you as a valuable person, and they're gonna be much more wanting to actually speak with you. So if you can demonstrate value before the call, and again, nurture and build that relationship, they're gonna be much more likely to show up. And if for some reason they can't make it, they're gonna give you a call or shoot you a text to let you know. Here's another golden nugget. Number 3, forcing the call. What I need you to do is start treating every booked appointment as a lead. And just like we tell our clients that they need to call the lead within 5 minutes, you need to call your booked appointments within 5 minutes and force the intro call. Because if you can get them on the phone before the actual time of their scheduled call, you're guaranteeing the show up rate. Now you don't have to wonder whether or not they're going to show up, because they have shown up to the call. They're on the phone with you. That's a 100% show up rate. And this strategy is called forcing the call, because instead of waiting for the appointment to happen, you're calling them, and if they pick up, you're on the phone with them, you take the call right then and there, and you don't wait for the appointment to happen. So that is hack number 3. Hack number 4, aggressive appointment reminders. When I have people schedule an appointment with me, they get text messages, they get emails, they get voicemail drops, they even get a retargeting ad reminding them of the appointment. So the idea is that after someone has scheduled, I never want the excuse to be that I forgot about the appointment. Anyone that schedules an appointment with you, you need to be 100% certain that they are reminded and that they know the appointment is going to happen. What I recommend is the very minimum 3 text messages, one 24 hours before, one 1 hour before, one 5 minutes before. Same with email, 3 emails, 24 hour, 1 hour, 5 minutes. At least 2 voicemails, one 24 hour and one 1 hour before the call. And then on top of all that, I would put everyone into an email nurturing sequence with all of your testimonials, and I want them to get 1 or 2 emails from you every single day until the booked call with all the social proof. And I want you to put in place a retargeting campaign, not only showing them testimonials, but also reminding them of the call. So again, anyone that books a call with you is not gonna forget. And you might think that this is an obvious hack, but a lot of people get this one wrong, even if it's so freaking simple. Hack number 5. If someone purchases something from you, they're gonna be much more likely to take a next step. So something that you could do is run or create a low ticket product where you can sell something anywhere between $7 to $100. And if you can get your prospects to buy this item from you before the call, they're much more likely to show up. And the reason why is because they are much more serious. They have skin in the game. They have demonstrated intent. Now, instead of you reaching out to them and trying to get them on the call, which does work, we're weeding them out and making sure that they are committed and invested before we actually speak with them. So if you look at some of the biggest players in the marketing space, this is what they do. They have free plus shipping books, they have low ticket products, they have $37 master classes. So do we, by the way. And the idea is that you want to see who's actually willing to whip out their credit card and take a serious first step, even though it's not a lot of money, and who isn't. And now that some of the prospects did take a first step, those are your highest priority, those you want to get on the phone, and they're much more likely to show up, given the fact that they have already demonstrated they are more serious prospects. Build a personal brand. Something to really consider is that a lot of us, especially in the marketing agency space, don't have a crazy competitive advantage. So why would someone pick you over someone else? Just like, let's say you're picking a dentist, why would you go to this dentist versus that dentist? It's going to come down to the reviews. If someone referred that dentist to you, if you look them up on the internet and they seemed legit. So why would someone pick you as a marketing agency as opposed to another marketing agency? The reality is that if you have a strong personal brand and people want to work with you for you, in addition to what you can offer, and they love you, even before the call, they're going to be much more likely to show up. So how do you build a personal brand? That's a topic for a whole other video, but I'm going to give you some easy things that you could do. First, you could build a free Facebook group. You can go live once per week and interview a client or just add value. You can then take that video, upload it to YouTube, and then you could take the audio and upload it to a podcast. That is probably the best bang for your buck because now you got a Facebook group, now you have a YouTube video, and now you have a podcast, 3 in 1. And now you've started to build your personal brand, and if you remember back to, I think, the second hack about relationship building, it all could be leveraged to make that happen, build that relationship. So again, especially with services that don't have a crazy competitive advantage like marketing agencies or even like coaching, people will work with you for you in addition to what you can offer. If they love you, they're going to go with you over the other person that offers the same thing. So if you have a strong personal brand, they're much more likely to show up to the call. They're much more likely to buy from you. And last and final hack, number 7, to increase show-up rates for book calls. The reality is that there is not one single hack. What I've noticed is that it all comes together. You need a good offer, you need to build a relationship ahead of time, you need to implement appointment reminders, you need to force the call, you need to try to get people quick wins and demonstrate value. It all works together. There's no secret formula, and this is something that you start and you build little by little over time. So with that in mind, if you're in a niche where there's really crappy show-up rates, the last thing I wanted to say is that it also depends on the niche. For example, let's say that you work with dentists. Dentists are a profession that values their time. And they value when their patients respect their time and show up. So they're much more likely to carry that attitude into the appointments that they book for themselves. Whereas realtors can be a little bit more flaky, a little bit more on the go, a little bit more all over the place, doing a million things at a time. And I'm not saying all realtors are like this, I really am not. And there's also dentists that are flaky. But the profession will have certain tendencies towards appointments and being timely and showing up. And some professions are gonna have more of a connection to that than others. So, for example, if you're working with contractors, they're out on the job all day. It's not that they're flaky, they're just super busy. They're moving around. It's not like they're on the computer all day. So it also depends on the niche. There's no magic formula. Implement everything little by little and watch your show-up rate go up.